Okay, so today I'm thinking we're going to be working on going to our high score state from our game over. So, I made the text a little bit bigger, so hopefully it's a little easier to see for everyone. So, if we take a look at our, game over state, there actually isn't a game over state. It's just when we die. So like maybe it's game over. Okay, so if we're game over, we're rendering some stuff. Now we're only doing render stuff if it's game over, that's it. So I think after this game over, we can add some high score state trigger logic, which will get a variable called game over timer. And we'll update it with our game over timer plus delta time. Now, then we can say if game over timer is greater than, let's say, 3 seconds, then we're going to go ahead and change our state to high score state. So I think we do a global state machine change, and we pass in the string high score state. I think that's it. Let's see if where we're doing another change. Yeah, change high score state. Change high score state. Okay. So let's see if when we... Oh, we gotta initialize our game over timer. So we'll just go to the top here. We'll go to the top. We'll just give ourselves right here a game over timer. Initialize it to 0. Now we should be able to go. So what we're looking for is when we die. Oh, it just went to... If it's game over, we gotta update that game over timer. So we gotta only do this if it's game over. So if game over, then we go ahead and do all this, and then so it shouldn't switch us to high score state unless we die. All our 5 lives. See, and we're playing a wrong sound there. When we explode, it shouldn't be that loud of an explode. There's 2 explosions happening there. Okay, so look, when I die, it should say game over. Oh, okay. There we go. And then 3 seconds should go, and then it goes to the high score. But, oh, actually, yeah, and we did get a high score because we haven't put our proper high scores in there. So we're going to say, we're going to go to our notes and say that's another thing we got to add, which is add proper high score amounts. Now, I'm curious where we do, if we look in our high score state, where are we saving? We're saving this. I don't know where this is. Let me see. Let me see if we can find a Love 2D folder. I don't know where it saves the Love 2D, because we just made a high score save file that I'm wanting to erase, so we don't commit with a high score in there. I'm not sure where Love 2D saves those files. Data, home, love, local share, love. So dot local share love, maybe. So dot local share love joust, there it is. So there's our text file. So I'm gonna we should harpoon this so we can delete it if we need to anytime we accidentally write a score to it. For right now, I'm just going to remove the high scores. Just remove it. And then okay, so let's harpoon that to our system here. So I think we just have to navigate to it. Local share love. Joust. Okay. Now, how do I... Okay, there we go. I got a harpoon. So, like, for example, if I'm here and I want to go to that save file, I can go right here and it'll be in this folder. So that's kind of cool. So now we've got that kind of mapped where we can find it easy. We're not going to be doing that tonight. But we do need to do a couple more things to our game over state. Most importantly being, if it's game over, we don't respawn. So where do we respawn? So look, if we explode, blah, 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 we respawn here no matter what. Or like, if our lives is 1, we're at game over. So maybe we say if lives is greater than 1. No, if lives is less than 1. No. Okay, so what this is doing is when we die, if our lives is 1, meaning we had 1 life left, we're going to decrement it, then become game over true. And it shouldn't respawn this because this isn't the else. So that means if we're I guess then on the very next frame, since our explosion timer is still greater than 35. So maybe we have to reset our explosion timer. Let me take a look at our ostrich class and see what our explosion timer gets set to 0. So if we set our explosion timer of our player 1 to 0, then on that very next frame our explosion time isn't greater than 0, so this won't be evaluated and then we won't respawn. Maybe. Let's see. I should have, you know what, let's just let's give ourselves 2 lives to start out with. So I don't have to sit here and die 5 times. Well, I respawned. Okay. So that's not working. Let's just take a look at any time we instantiate an ostrich. So if R is pressed, we do it right there. I thought we would fix it there. Okay, it's only those 2 spots, so just my logic is flawed here. So let's not do this explosion timer. Now, I think we only want to do this if our player lives, or if our lives is greater than 0. Then go ahead and respawn us. Right? And then what's player 2 lives? Where do we do player 2 lives? Player 2 lives. Okay. So then we do this. If player 2 lives is greater than 1. Is that what we did? Greater than 0. Then we'll go ahead and spawn us another one. So if we have a life left, go ahead and spawn. Let's see if that... Look at our lives go. We just kept losing lives. Gosh, I'm just so tired. I feel like we do need to reset our explosion timer for some reason. Because our life decrement has to do with our explosion timer. And since we're not spawning, it's not getting reset, so I think we're just losing lives over and over. See that? Oh god. What, man? What? What do we do? Let's walk through what happens. So we're exploded, okay? And our explosion timer is greater than 0.35, which means our death animation is finished going out. Because if we become dead and move us before that that animation plays out, we won't see that animation. So we have to wait till that animation plays out. Then we're gonna send the ptero to the graveyard. We're gonna reinstantiate it so it resets its timer. Well, I guess we do it right there. Okay. Well, Then if we initialize pterodactyl to graveyard true, then we don't, then that line's redundant, but we'll see that later. Okay, if we have 1 life, we're gonna decrement our life and become game over. Otherwise, if we have anything other than 1 life, we're gonna subtract a life. And then if our lives greater than 0, we're gonna go ahead and respawn us. Okay, so what's happening is this is just going over and over and over because our player 1's exploded and the explosion timer still. So like, I feel like our... I wonder if we can just become not exploded at this point. And if that will fix it. Okay. We're not decrementing lives, but we have a -1. So we can say if lives, you know, if at some point, if our lives is greater than 0, we're going to do this. And then we can say else if lives is equal to -1, we're going to go ahead and set lives equal to 1, equal to 0. Now, we can do better than that. We don't have to have it that nasty. We can only decrement if we have, you know, 1 life or greater. We don't decrement. That works, but I don't like that we do that. If lives is 1, you know what, we'll do it right there. We'll just set our lives equal to 0. Well, if lives is 1, decrement. Become game over true. Instead of decrementing, we just set our lives equal to 0. Will that fix it? I saw that as I ran it. And when I want to die, I don't die. We're at -1 still. Because this is happening. Well, shit, man. I mean, I guess we're just doing the ugly fix, and if I want to fix it later, I'll fix it later. If it's greater than 0, we respawn. We can say else. Why is it 0? No. Yeah? Why don't we do that? We can say that. Nice. Okay, so we're rendering our score not under our red game over screen. And that can be fixed by just render order layer. If we find where we're doing our red death screen right here, we just need to do this like after we do our score. So that should fix that. And then if we get a high score, it'll ask us to input our initials, and if we don't get a high score, it'll just show us the leaderboard, and that seems to be working. What else? I'm gonna see if I can track down that explosion bug. I don't know what sound is exactly playing. Because it sounds like that sound's playing, and also another sound is playing. Oh. I know exactly what it is. If our respawn sound started right here, it would get rid of it. Because what's happening is we're playing the explode sound, and then we're playing the respawn sound. So that's where that second explosion is coming from. So let's just edit this respawn MP3. Let's just do that real quick. What we'll do is... I don't like that it defaults to that. Okay. So we're going to open our respawn MP3. We're going to import. I guess we just drag and drop it. I don't know. Yeah. So let's... What just happened, dude? What just happened? Okay. Okay, so that'll be our new sound. Our new respawn sound. So we're gonna go export selected zone, MP3, render to file. We rendered this into our videos folder at Untitled because I didn't click on it and set it, but let's go get it real quick right here, and we'll put it in our music file, and we'll overwrite our respawn sound. So respawn 1 and respawn 2 both need to be this new sound. So we'll rename this to respawn, and then we'll duplicate it, and the copy becomes named respawn 2, and that should fix our double explosion bug. Double sound explosion bug. So now if we die, we shouldn't hear that double explosion anymore. Nice. Nice. And then after 3 seconds of game over, we come up here. One more thing we can add today is the multiple pterodactyl roar. If it's alive and on screen. Right now it just does it once when it's on screen, but we can do a little better than that. We can have him be a constant threat. So let's take a look at our monster. So once we spawn our monster, how do we do this? We don't really do... Okay, so I guess if monster's graveyard is false, we can just trigger a looping roar timer. So we can say, hey, if monster graveyard dot graveyard is equal to false, then that means we need to set a roar timer equal to a roar timer plus delta time. And then we can say if that roar timer is greater than 7 seconds, then we're going to go ahead and play our roar sound, which is actually just called ptero, I think. So we're going to play that. And then once we trigger it, we need to reset our roar timer to be equal to 0. And then that might trigger our pterodactyl to keep roaring. So let's get all but one vulture dying so we can get the pterodactyl out soon. Cool. And we just wait like 10 seconds and listen for that roar. And hopefully it won't kill us, because we need to hear it roar. Any second now. I didn't initialize roar timer. Big surprise there. Okay. It's exactly what I did with game over timer. Okay. Now let's try it. I could set the ptero timer to be lower, but I'm probably going to forget to change it back if I do that, so... Every 7 seconds it should roar once it's on screen. And he killed me right away! That guy murdered me! Right off the freaking bat, he murdered me. Nice. Yeah, 7 seconds sounds about the right time for it. That's cool. Let's try to kill him. Oh! Okay. If you get him right in the mouth, when it's open, you can kill him. Oh! That shouldn't have happened. I'm curious if... Oh, yeah, we did make a text. Okay. Let's just delete that. Yeah. Let's delete that. Let's, I don't know how that... I don't know how that worked. How it didn't kill us, because we died. It must be something with our explosion timer didn't get finished and then we didn't die for some reason. So that was weird. Maybe we should do death. Player death. Oh, you know what? Yeah, we didn't. Well... No, yeah, we just trigger our exploded. Okay, so it shouldn't matter how we die. I guess let's look at our ostrich reinstantiation. Lives greater than 0, else lives 0, and maybe we just, for good measure, send player 1 to the graveyard. For good measure. If we take a look at our monster, which is a ptero instantiation. I think. We start in the graveyard, so we should be able to get rid of that line we said, which right here sends the ptero to the graveyard, because once we instantiate a monster, it'll become in the graveyard, so that's unnecessary for us to set it there. I guess let's see if we can get us to live after dying. Like last time. Look at, did you see us? We were in the top right corner. Let me take a look at our, I thought our graveyard was in the top left, but it looks like our graveyard was in the top right. Ostrich. Graveyard. Yeah, I thought it is top left. How were we over there? Let's just go. So we have a limiting, like a clamping Y and X behavior to prevent us from flying off screen, or I guess just a top. Shoot, I don't know. I saw us on the side, which means we weren't in the graveyard. So I'm thinking wherever our top kind of clamping behavior is, we need to just kind of set that based on if we're in the graveyard or not. Here. So look, we can do, I think we need to do this only if we're not in the graveyard. Okay. Let's see if we can see ourselves in the top right once we're dead now. No, I don't see us anymore. Okay. Now we just make sure we delete that save score file. And then, I guess we call it a night. I am very tired. Okay, so we did, oh, you know what? Let's just do this real quick. We'll put, in the high score state, enter will start a new game. That's more work than I'm thinking it is, because we gotta reset a whole bunch of stuff. We gotta set, yeah, we gotta reset a whole bunch of stuff. I'll do that tomorrow. So we'll have this for tomorrow. We did this, but every 7 seconds, I think. So we can go ahead and we fixed our bug. We kind of did this. We did this for player 1, but we'll need a player 2. Oh no, we did it for both, I think. We'll just make a note of it. I can't even keep my eyes open, so just gotta finish programming. We'll do that tomorrow. Test scheme over. Okay. Explosion sound for both player death, both death. Okay, we did that. And then we fixed our double explosion bug. Then okay, yeah, so we fixed our double explosion bug. We got our player 1 to stop respawning once we're dead. We fixed our -1 lives, and then we switched to high score state once we're game over for 3 seconds. So that was this part. Okay. Okay. We're doing pretty good. I mean, this is the last of what we need to do. And some of these things I'm not going to do because they're kind of just like nice if we have, but it's still, the game works. It's just not very well designed, I guess. So some of this stuff is like, oh, wouldn't it be nice if we refactored certain things to make it a bit cleaner? I don't know how much of that I'm going to be doing because I just want to move on. I've been doing this for almost 2 years now, making this game. So yeah, I'm going to be done with this and move on because that's ridiculous. And I'm excited for the new game. I really want some fresh game stuff. Maybe we'll do some game jams in the future again. Well, yeah, that was a good little session. We take a look at our git diff. We do, we added a couple of those features. Let's switch our lives back to 5. Yeah, let's switch our lives back to 5 and then commit. Okay. I think we're good. I think we're good. Let us add everything to the staging area with a commit message saying we added high score trigger upon death, lives bottom out at 0, and then ptero roar while alive. And then what else? Fix that little bug. Oh, fix double explosion bug. That's pretty successful day for being as tired as I am and so late. But I will catch you guys tomorrow and we will do a couple more things. I'm thinking we're a week away from finishing this. I really do. Trying to see what those verified signature issue is we're getting. Not sure. But anyways, I'll catch you tomorrow.